On this episode, we review our stay at Coronado Springs Resort, where we got a little bit of pixie dust. Today is August 19th, 2022, and this is episode 488 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. If you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. Then if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, you're going to get the brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. If you're planning a trip to Disneyland, Walt Disney World, it can often be very overwhelming as far as dining goes. 60 days out, you can't always get what you want, but luckily Mouse Dining will remove the frustration of booking those Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. We have had a ton of success using them. You can use them too if you go to msmfriends.com, and there is a free portion of this service. Then if you're getting ready to plan that next Disney or Universal vacation, looking to go on a cruise or pretty much travel anywhere else in the world, head to mainstmagictravel.com and fill out a form for a free quote. Our travel services are completely free to you.
So I'm excited to talk today about our Coronado stay.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a little while since we've gotten some pixie dust.
Well, it's been a little while since we were at our true second home, which is Coronado Springs.
That's true. But just all around, I feel, it's always magical, always. But this just seemed to be
This weekend was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't listened to our Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party review, go back to the last episode. That is part of this same trip. We just decided we are going back, which I'm super excited about.
September 30th.
That's going to be fun.
We're
going to wear our Boo to You shirts. You can find those at mainstreetshirts.com.
Yeah, so we're not going to dress up that one. We actually will be at DizCon. So if you want to join wonderlandcrew.com, go check out our Patreon group, because we will be bringing them a lot of stuff from DizCon. And
where's DizCon at?
That is actually right there in Orlando. At Coronado.
Yeah, that's the best part. It's at Coronado Springs. So what better place for us to get to be a part of an expo?
And then we will head to Mickey's Not So Scary, which will be perfect because I can get dressed and I can wear my shirt. And if I get cold, I'll just hopefully get a Jack Skellington or Haunted Mansion, something
long
to keep
sleeve
me
shirt
warm.
there.
Yeah.
And,
I think things will be out by then.
Well, and currently for that week, we have some figuring out to do, because this, and then we'll get to our stay. It really, I'm so glad we're going back to the Halloween party. I'm so glad we're going to be at Coronado Springs for DizCon. We are currently staying off-site at Town Place Suites, and having the ability to go back to Mickey's Not So Scary that Friday night after doing an expo all day is really throwing a wrench in the plan, because
I'm gonna need a nap.
We're gonna really have to look at least staying Friday night at Coronado, just for simplicity, because I'm even thinking of the logistics of getting to and from Magic Kingdom from Town Place Suites. And it's going to be worth the extra spend, I think. So we'll figure it out. We may just do a back and forth, one night Coronado, one night Town Place. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see. Because I would love to be at Coronado for that. But anyway, we were at Coronado for this weekend, and I think this was just a magical, wonderful weekend regardless. Mm-hmm. But it became that much more magical when we found out that we did get some pixie dust, and we got upgraded not only from a standard room to the tower, but to the tower in a deluxe suite, and a deluxe suite which also included Chronos Club access.
Yes.
Now, we've been lucky enough to visit Chronos Club here and there and just say hi to some of our friends there.
Absolutely.
Like Aaron and all, but we had not actually stayed club access since opening weekend.
Correct.
Over 3 years ago. 3
Correct.
years and 1 month.
Yep.
Almost to the day, I feel like. So that was really cool to be able to do. And we'll just start off, and we might end up talking about them more, but Priscilla, Amanda, Sydney, Drew, Colby, Jenna, Patty, of course, Aaron, all of them up in Chronos Club.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, I think Coronado Springs has some of the best cast members and some of the best customer service out of anywhere on Disney property.
100%.
In Chronos Club, they take it to a whole other level.
It was neat just talking with everybody, and, of course, that being back where you can, and and I know some cast members are still wearing masks and stuff, but none of these were, which made me feel very happy because I've been a hairdresser, everybody knows, for 24 years, and I am now 43 years old, and I do need to get my hearing checked. Jeremy and my kids have been saying stuff, and it's harder to hear. So I was just super appreciative where in my experience it's been harder for me. So I was just super happy with all of that.
Yeah, and what's so amazing, and they're so wonderfully trained this way, is that it is not a place that you go and you sit and they just kind of come and, do you need something? Can I take this away?
Right.
They
Right.
make a point to have a conversation with you. And they will stop and ask all the time, where are you guys from? How long are you here for? Have you ever stayed here? Have you this and that? And you get in full conversations. Drew and Patty are part of the Disney College program.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really neat to talk to them.
It was.
Drew's literally coming off of his last day of training. He's been there for 3 weeks.
He did
and
good.
We had a blast talking to him.
Yep.
And about him using to live in the cold and all. So if you get to go up there, the cast members really make this such a wonderful experience where you want to just hang out.
Mm-hmm. Wow. What day was it? Are we going to get to that?
Yeah.
Eventually?
Let's walk through. Let's walk through kind of our weekend. I mean, I have my very rough notes that I took on my phone in the notes app that we're just going to kind of walk through our weekend. And so we first arrived and we got all checked in, which was awesome. We had, if you follow along social media, you'll see that we had some issues with the magic bands that we pre-ordered.
Yeah.
And so, we were last told that they would be at the front desk when we got there. We're like,
Correct.
That's awesome. We'd heard conflicting reports from other people. And when day before or 2 days before, I got notification that they had shipped.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, these are not making it to us in time. But they just told me on the phone earlier that they would be at the front desk. So I was kind of just like, I really wanted to see what was going to happen just to tell y'all. Because I know a lot of people have trips coming up.
Correct.
And they're super worried if their bands are going to be there in time.
Right. So we're checking in and I said, are our bands here? And she's like, yes. And she pulls out 2 bands, a 50th on each, on mine, and a 50th on Jeremy's.
Which were not the ones we pre-ordered.
Which weren't, but we were super excited because we thought, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is perfect. Well, to make a long story short, those were somebody else's order.
Yeah.
And we were like, uh-oh.
So we gave them back, sadly.
Absolutely. Well, they wouldn't work for us,
apparently,
because I guess they were already attached to the other people.
Yeah.
Anyways, the main point is she was like, I'm so sorry. She was like, we are going to write you a voucher. You can go to wherever you want, to Panchitos or wherever you would like, to get whatever 2 magic bands you wanted.
Yeah.
So, and Magic Band Plus.
Yeah.
So we actually went down to Panchitos because we knew that there was some there. Iron Man was there, which Jeremy was.
I could not find
sold
it
out.
weekend prior.
It. And then because I had the 50th, I was like, I think I really want that one. So I went ahead and got that one, and I'm super happy I did. It's super cute.
Yeah.
It's very similar to my princess one, which I was a little sad on the color on that aspect, but I'm like, you know what? I'm probably gonna be one of these that wears the different ones.
Oh yeah.
In this one, whereas I know you did all the other ones. I'm probably gonna be your Magic Band Plus girl.
Oh,
I'm gonna want the mom. I already have Stitch, the Ohana.
I do want the
princess.
dad one. Yeah.
I have the 50th. I want a Halloween. They already come out with more Magic Band Pluses.
That Avengers one.
Which is super cool. So, and I honestly, if we're going to go ahead and dive into that, because did we talk about that last episode?
About the Magic Bands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really diving in. And
yeah, we did.
I loved them.
I really enjoy them. I think they're well worth it. And I do want to say, we didn't say anything. I think it was Sydney actually ended up,
not.
Once they realized there was the mix up and those weren't our bands or weren't for us or anything. And again, we just thought they were making it up to us. We didn't think they went in the system and picked out,
right,
the ones that we had pre-ordered. And so I think it was Sydney that came up and she said, your bands are in Georgia. And she was like, are you guys from Georgia? And we're like, no, we're not. And she goes, okay, I'll be right back. And we didn't say no, we're not, where are our bands? We did have a band with us. If they had said, I'm really sorry, we'd have been like, that's cool. We'll be back in 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she then walked over and was like, here's a voucher for each of you to go get whatever
100%.
you want. And she's like, and the best part is when you get home, your bands will be there as well.
And they were.
So that was really cool.
It
And
was.
the fact that Panchitos had a really wonderful selection, I think, was great.
Yep.
So yeah, and we really love the Magic Band Plus. I think
really
they're fun. I said it before. I was spending more money on limited edition bands of the 2 generation than I am on Magic Band Plus. We will totally I see a lot of resort stays that we're going to go ahead and maybe pre-order them for these first couple to save that $10.
So we're staying for Coronado for Christmas.
We'll definitely get you.
I'm hoping that they may have a Christmas one.
Yeah, we'll probably have to just hold off a little bit.
I want to get a Halloween one. I'm really hoping they get one of those, which I feel like they should, whether it be Jack or Hocus Pocus. And then, I mean, I can start wearing that August 12th or whenever the parties start. And then one for Christmas.
That would be
awesome. And then
awesome.
we will be wearing it from November 1st to obviously after Christmas Day.
When we're walking into Magic Kingdom on Christmas Day, which is
Absolutely.
going to be really, really cool. So let's talk first about the room. We have stayed in a large majority of the room styles at Coronado, from standard to preferred to deluxe suites in the casita section to executive suites to standard tower rooms to a tower king room. And now we're so thankful to be able to add a deluxe suite to that list.
Now, you have seen this room, correct?
I have seen this room.
I have not.
Just quick story. When we were, it was, Dorian. Hurricane Dorian, wasn't it? I think, because of John Dorian, JD, Scrubs. So this was actually on the tail end of opening weekend of Galaxy's Edge. This was only a month after Gran Destino Tower had opened. Mm-hmm. This was August of 2019. We went for the opening of Galaxy's Edge. A hurricane was coming and threatening Florida, where nobody knew. But the school here at home had already canceled the girls' school for like the next 2 or 3 days.
Because they are a hurricane shelter place.
Yep.
So that is one of the main reasons they will close a little quicker than maybe other ones.
Correct. And so we were like, well, you know what? We're at Port Orleans. Looked up rates. We found 3 nights at Coronado. We moved over there to kind of ride it out. It was our longest trip ever. I think we did 9 nights total. And our friend Athena, who was at Coronado at the time, was part of the ride out team. Mm-hmm. And if you're part of the ride out team, you're kind of like on call. So they put you up in a room there at the hotel.
Well, not to mention they had a tiny house. So I'm glad they were safe in the
very safe
hotel.
Yeah. And so what was awesome is that they ended up in one of the deluxe suites, and Rhonda had gone to bed one night, and I went up to hang out with them and just chat for a little bit. So I got to see it. But again, this was 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Never stayed in one. Now we got to stay in one, and holy moly. What did you think? What's the layout? What's the setup of this for anyone that, again, didn't get to see the live stream or I put a preview out as well. In Main Street Magic Community from our YouTube channel. I put a couple minute preview just to kind of show you what it looks like.
Well, it's awesome because when you first walk in the door, to your left, you actually have a half bathroom, which is a toilet and a sink and a mirror. And
big half bath.
That was huge.
It really was.
I'm like, okay, that could have been smaller and you could have had more stuff or something. I don't know.
But it's not like you even needed more living space.
True. So then straight on, you have this whole living space. You have a couch that does pull out into a queen bed. You have a 2-chair table. You have a ginormous TV. You're good at this. 65.
Okay. Probably 65-inch TV with, a cabinet underneath,
which you can have storage, all kinds of storage. If you're sitting on the couch and you look to your left, you have a pretty big fridge. What would that be? Like a wine fridge? It was. Yeah, it was.
It's a beverage. I would call it a beverage fridge. It's pretty. Which obviously you can put groceries in, but it has that look of. I would call this a dry bar because there's no sink. There's no little sink, but this is a bar.
Coffee.
Kinda.
Giant Keurig.
Yeah.
Coffee, and then a giant
there's a wardrobe right next to it, which is great.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
Well, because the fact that you can turn this into a, air quote bedroom by pulling out that queen sleeper sofa. So that is where somebody could go ahead and hang up their clothes or whatever they needed to in this kind of bar area. Before you take into the bedroom area, how was the view from there?
Well, we were on the side of Three Bridges. So the way our room was, you opened that beautiful giant curtain, and now I wish the windows were bigger in the towers, but they're not, especially when you have a room this big, but it's fine. But it was beautiful. You could totally see Three Bridges. I mean, you could totally see. We were on the 7th floor, but you could totally see so much.
Everest.
It was awesome.
Yeah, you could see Everest to the left.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason the windows are that size in comparison to the room is because all of the windows are the same size when you look from outside the tower.
Well, and I was noticing that like walking up because
they have to make them. They have to design it, which I think is so interesting from a design aspect and architect. Is they have to design it where every window is uniform and is exactly spaced and is exactly the same size when you're down there looking at it. So I think it's really cool the way they're able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have a barn or a pocket door into the bedroom.
No,
right?
barn door.
Barn door into the bedroom.
Beautiful barn door with, of course, Mickey on it. And then giant bedroom with a king size bed. And again, with a window. And if you just sat in our bed, you could look at Three Bridges. It was super cool.
I love how it faces it.
I did too.
Because when you're in the standard rooms, you know, you're facing the front TV and the window is to your right or to your left.
This was center,
which is still beautiful, but
center.
yeah, the fact you could wake up in the morning, open the curtains and sit in your bed with, you know, a cup of coffee or something and stare at this beautiful, you know, Villa del Lago and all is super cool.
But it was sad that the TV was, when you're sitting in the bed, off to the left, which is fine for us. I mean, we don't watch any TV or do anything, but still, if you're wanting that, like, TV that you're like
dead center
watching, and I don't know if it moved. We didn't try. We had it on.
It was. I think it was fixed where it would not swivel. And then right next to the bed is a ton of storage. There's actually shelving in the safe, and then there's a barn door that you slide to cover that area. And to your right is another wardrobe area
with two robes.
Two robes, which we somehow never took advantage of.
Used.
I'm like kicking myself for that one.
Yeah, me too. There's 2 ACs, so you could totally drop it to whatever you wanted, which was super cool. And then you go into the bathroom, this beautiful, large glass shower that like almost had like not pebble, but stone like work on the ground. Super beautiful.
It was giant. It was gorgeous.
Very beautiful. And then what was super cool is there's a big window in the bathroom too, but it's frosted probably from what? I mean, I couldn't see. So probably from 5
frosted,
foot
I'd
down.
say, 5 foot to the floor.
Yeah.
And of course, the window doesn't go all the way. It's frosted.
Yes.
So again, we're on the 7th floor. I don't know how much people could see without like a telescope or binoculars, but just in case, because if you were on the 3rd floor or something, where it was the first floor that rooms truly start at, your bits and all would be covered. No matter what kind you have. And that is cool. But the entire window isn't frosted. So you could literally stand there and I could shower and look out the window still, knowing that I am covered and I am, secure and all of that. And I could still look at Three Bridges while I'm standing there showering.
Of course, I couldn't unless he like picked me up or something, but which is fine. I didn't need to see. But yeah, double sink, toilet room with a pocket door.
Yep. Extra, a couple little extra. You get aloe.
Yeah.
You get all the suites, and I think it may even be all the club. Yeah, and I think it may even be all the club access rooms. Which, by the way, all club access rooms are getting daily housekeeping. It's not the every other day stuff that everywhere else is getting.
Yeah.
So, you're getting some extra stuff like a shower cap. I think like a
vanity kit,
which
has got
aloe.
Yep.
You still get your mouthwash. So you got a couple little extra things there, which I enjoy. But this room was incredible. I mean, what was so awesome is that, at one point, Ashley and Karen in Arizona were in our room for a little bit, and there's plenty of space for everyone to, hang out in this living room.
Yes.
And we weren't there for long, but we could have hung out all night long.
Oh, 100%.
And it's not one of those situations where you're like, all right, you guys sit on that bed and we'll sit on this bed.
Yeah.
In a regular room. It was just nice to have this.
Yeah, it was.
And we knew that this was going to be very much a staycation. And we were pretty much just planning to do the Halloween party, and the rest of the time we were going to hang at the resort.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have that extra room, we knew we'd be in the room a lot. And then, of course, we were going to take huge advantage of Chronos Club.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So checking into Chronos Club, as you check in, you go straight to the 15th floor if you have booked club access, and that's where you check in at.
Mm-hmm.
And usually within a few minutes, they are going to come and say, if you would like, while we're getting you checked in and settled, you can go get something to eat. At that point, it was around 10-ish, and they said the breakfast will shut down at 10:30. So if you would like something to eat,
right now, I'm hungry.
Would you like a drink, alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself a Pog mimosa.
Oh yeah, they do have them there.
You can get it with or without grenadine.
Mm-hmm.
I only prefer it without because it has a little less sweetness, but it is beautiful with it. It looks like a sunset.
Yeah.
So what kind of offerings are we looking at for breakfast? And you can talk about all 3 mornings of breakfast. What were kind of the variations that we have offerings for breakfast?
So the only thing I am going to say I'm sad about is there was no Mickey waffles, but it's fine. There was eggs and there was bacon 2 mornings. We got sausage on that first morning we got there, which I was hungry and and that sausage was fantastic. There's always oatmeal and quite a few toppings and stuff. There's boiled eggs, hard-boiled eggs over there that's already peeled. All you have to do is just pick it up and put some salt and pepper on it and eat it. There is
Spanish potatoes.
That's right. That morning with the sausage. Oh, those were fantastic. I was like, all right, thank God our lifestyle is on the weekends at Disney. We don't worry about things and we eat what we want. Oh, those Spanish potatoes were amazing. Over on your other area, they have like muffins, like a blueberry.
Yeah, so we have, and I only know this because I didn't take notes, but I took photos.
Okay.
You've got a toaster, of course, bagels, both wheat and regular bread. You can go ahead and do chocolate oat granola bar. You have cinnamon bread, glazed coffee loaf, cranberry orange mini muffins, blueberry oat mini muffins. You have croissants and a multigrain croissant.
So good.
And then you have a station with cereal, which is including like Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, Cheerios, things like that. That's, I feel like a lot of times what the kids are going to go for.
Oh, 100%.
You've got your beverage station with orange juice and cranberry juice out. And then you have these 2 incredible coffee machines.
Oh, those were incredible.
How cool are those? Talk about those.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Here, let's talk about it. You put a cup down and you push a button and it comes out.
Yeah.
Literally. Like,
What types
so
do we
there was
have?
Americano, lattes, and they did have decaf, which was super cool for you because you were
cappuccinos.
Yep.
Regular coffee.
I'm trying to remember. Cappuccino, Americano, espresso. Yeah, I'm really trying to remember. There were
6 options.
Probably 5 or 6 options.
And it was really good. I'm not gonna lie. It was like, to me, it was like going to a coffee shop.
I got a latte every morning and that was amazing. You push the button and it was just great. And then I think it was Drew or Priscilla that came by. I was like, do y'all have Baileys back there? And they said they did. And I drink black coffee anyways. But the Baileys with the latte, spot
so good.
on. So good.
Yeah. And it was a generous pour. And
yeah, they bring you out. So they just bring it out. They so nothing is out. Am I jumping ahead to say nothing is out alcohol wise until dinner and then your dessert cordials and stuff.
Yeah, and so basically at dinner time, they're going to put out beer and wine. And then if you would like any sort of cocktail or liquor drink, you're just going to order it from one of the wonderful cast members when they come to your table. They do have pretty much full bar back there. And then some, I almost feel like, in some ways. Also for breakfast, there was another station that had like smoked ham, smoked turkey. The next day they had some cheeses along with it, some different fruits, things like that. Mm-hmm. So this is a absolutely full breakfast. And what 100%. I love about the coffee machine, well, all of this is, again, this is all included in your club access because I didn't have my wallet. I left it in my other pair of mochachinos.
Okay. Were you just waiting?
I was trying to figure out
if I
was trying to figure out if I could work it in.
Wow. Okay.
So, but this is a full breakfast. This is a full before the park breakfast. Coffee service starts at 6:30 a.m. and then full breakfast starts at 7 a.m. So there is plenty of time for you to enjoy a full breakfast before you get to the park.
Oh, yeah. After Mickey's Not So Scary, I'm not going to lie. I woke up and Jeremy wasn't next to me. And I was like, okay, what time is it? And I look and it was 9 o'clock. And I was like,
I've been up for 3 hours.
Oh, crap. They shut down breakfast at like 10.
10:30.
10 something.
Yep, 10:30.
I knew it was 10 something. And I was like, if I roll over, I'm going to fall back asleep. Rhonda, get up. I want breakfast.
Yeah.
So I got up.
And the eggs were so good.
Oh, they were.
The bacon is your Disney bacon.
Yeah,
I think it is cooked
so
absolutely
good.
perfectly.
It's so good.
So get yourself a full breakfast.
Yeah.
At noon, they're going to put out snacks.
Just snacks.
So if
Hummus, that was good. Some hummus and ranch with some like cucumbers, and there actually was asparagus one day, and some carrots. They actually have for the kids in that area, like cut in half.
Yeah.
Your peanut butter and jelly Uncrustables,
Which is
super
perfect.
cute, super cute.
but
But then other than that, it's just like your banana chips, your goldfish, like little things like that, right, babe?
yeah, here's what I really love is that in addition, so basically in containers for you to serve yourself are goldfish, banana chips, pretzel sticks. They have some packaged cookies, both chocolate chip and sprinkle, which everybody loved. They have biscotti. Then they have bagged small single bags of the Miss Vicky's sea salt chips, the Stacy's pita chips.
Oh, that's right.
And some original Sun chips. So
those were good.
you can even grab a couple of those and take back to your room,
Yep.
just to have yourself another little snack.
Or if
later.
you're like literally, well, I started to say, because this was a staycation, because they don't put this out till 12, because I started to say you could grab it and go to a park too.
Yeah.
And what's really nice too, in the refrigerator, they have waters, Cokes, Sprites, all kinds of drinks. And then later they'll put out beers and Trulies. But they also have like
The
grapes.
big Trulies.
Yeah. They have grapes. They have carrots for the kiddos.
Yep. Apple slices are all in the
apple
fridge,
slices,
packaged.
all packaged. And then of course, apple juice and the small drinks for the kids too.
And then basically all day long in one of the center sections, there are like Kind bars.
Oh,
There's
yeah. I grabbed one of those.
lollipops and
Yep.
some different candies and things like that. And first of all, this whole space is beautiful. It's on the
Of
15th
course.
floor overlooking Hollywood Studios and Galaxy's Edge. To the left, which we ended up doing Saturday night, you can actually see the fireworks coming off from Epcot in Harmonious. So it is an absolutely wonderful view.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll preface this. As we continue to talk about the offerings, I want you, when you're listening, to think in your head that this is about usually roughly $200 or so more a night on top of a regular tower room or deluxe suite or whatever.
Right.
That's per night, but that's for everybody in your party, right?
Right.
So start to think and add up. That morning, right? We
Yeah.
would have spent on you and I $30 or so on breakfast.
Right.
We would have spent, let's just say, another $15-20 on snacks.
Yep.
We're going to talk about the dinner,
Mm-hmm.
which easily could have been another 30 to 40. Let's add in drinks, desserts, all of this
Yeah.
stuff. And that's just with two of us. We didn't even have the girls with us.
Right.
So I think you can hit a $200 a night mark
100%.
pretty easily
But this
if
is
it makes
for
sense to your schedule.
exactly what you just said. Because if you are doing your parks, open to close or open to like, I don't know what, where then maybe you could get dinner up there or something, maybe. But if you're doing your parks almost open to close, or you've got open to this and then you've got a dinner here or a dinner there, or, you've used Mouse Dining for this awesome grab for maybe Cinderella's Royal Table or something like that, then this is not for you.
Yeah.
I just would want you to save some money.
Agree with that completely. Yeah, I think you could then take that $200 and put it towards your meals in parks and things like that. But if you're looking for a staycation or a more relaxed vacation where you're okay bouncing back and forth, taking breaks, whatever, highly recommend. So I know we mentioned it, I think, on the last episode. A lot of the reason we didn't get to Mickey's Not So Scary at 4 when we could technically all enter is because dinner is served here at 5. Now,
We were like, let's eat.
they call it hors d'oeuvres, and they are correct in that assumption, but you can make an entire meal out of this. And what was Friday night?
It was meatballs. Karen, I think
This was like the main
5
course.
pounds.
Yeah.
Meatballs and then some marinara sauce, which
Just house made.
So good. And then over near the kids area, there was some pasta. So you get yourself some pasta on the plate, eat some meatballs with the marinara, and there is your dinner.
It's a full meal.
Full meal. They did have some grouper. It took everybody by surprise because it was cold.
Yeah.
And it was next to the meatballs, where usually that's like a caution it's hot.
Yeah.
Very surprising, but
The grouper actually had good flavor. I just don't think it worked cold.
Yeah.
It firmed up a lot more, so it wasn't as flaky, and like the edges almost got a little hard, so that part was a little weird. And first of all, that pasta was cooked to perfection.
Oh, it was. It almost tasted homemade.
That's what I told Aaron. I was like, "Is it homemade?" And he's like, "I don't think that one is." But and if you're wondering where this food is coming from, it's coming from Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
That is the kitchen that they're using, and they're basically elevatoring it down.
Yep.
So that is where things are prepared and cooked and then brought down, I guess presented and brought out. So you're sharing a kitchen with Toledo. Over on the other main station, we had, and I'll have you talk about these after I mention them, jackfruit salad.
Yes.
We
So
have the pan con tomate, which is out every night. We had a pepper gazpacho, cold soup served in shot glasses. And then you basically had a whole make your own charcuterie area, which included marinated olives, an assortment of cheese, fruits, dates, those disgusting little cornichons. You had, we had smoked turkey, and we had I think it was like a capricola.
Okay.
All right, run through some of these, starting with
That
the jackfruit salad.
Holy crap, I got 2 of those. They were so good. I think it was Ashley, because I said, would Karen want it? And she was like, nope. And I kind of feel the same with Jeremy. I feel like it was between a chicken and tuna salad, like texture and not taste, but just texture. Yeah. But it was so good. I loved it.
Yeah, jackfruit is a really good replacement for pulled chicken or pulled pork.
It's so good.
And they've been doing this since day one, when opening weekend they had the jackfruit quesadillas.
Correct.
And they were outstanding.
So good.
And I think it's one of those where somebody could blindly serve it to you and you'll go, this chicken quesadilla has something a little bit different about it, but I can't exactly tell you what.
Yeah.
And then they would go, well, it's jackfruit. And they're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like in a hidden camera commercial or something. In addition to that station, as Rhonda said, you can go over where the pasta and the marinara is, which is kind of the kids station, but it again had they were marinated cucumbers, not pickles, but they were marinated in something. That ranch was outstanding.
Yeah, it was.
And then the asparagus has been blanched.
Oh, that was so good.
Seasoned and served cold. And then straight up carrot slices in a form of a chip. So this was absolutely amazing for dinner, and we had a full dinner.
Yep. We did.
Did breakfast again the next morning and snacks. Earlier on Friday, we did do the pool. We did the pool for a little bit on Saturday as well. Absolutely love that pool, of course. I don't believe we mentioned, I know I'm going backwards to Friday again a little bit, our bus driver, John, on Friday, who took us to Magic Kingdom.
He was amazing.
He was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like cracking jokes and talking to everyone and just entertaining us while we were waiting for other guests.
I think the funniest part is he starts out with what character can count the highest? And I just belted out Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
And he looked almost like, dang, she knew it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you're right. And he's like, to infinity and beyond. Well, then his next few things, he looked at me like, all right, you got this? And I'm like, nope, don't got it.
It was great.
But it was great. It was fun.
This whole weekend just had all these incredible little magical touches.
Gosh.
Like everything was falling into place.
Yep.
Again, even going back to Friday, and this is so off topic, but it was very on our minds for today, is we're sitting there waiting for our friends to show up. We were like, we'll meet you down in the lobby and all. And and I get a phone call, and Rhonda's grandmother had passed away about 1.5 years or so ago, and we were very lucky to get a little something from her. And Rhonda really wanted something to remember her by. And I had wanted since the day we moved into this neighborhood a golf cart because we can take them around the neighborhood and all.
Yep.
Got our golf cart. It found out that it would have to be made street legal, which means it has to be registered at the DMV. It's got to get a tag, all this. Anyway, long story short, this has been a process. And we have been waiting and waiting for the final paperwork call, all of that. And while we're downstairs waiting for them, I get a call and it's the golf cart company. And they're like, I got you an appointment for next Wednesday to finalize everything. I'm going to come pick up your cart on Tuesday. I'll bring it back on Wednesday. Rhonda and I, we can go to the DMV on Thursday. It is now tagged and titled. It's sitting in our garage.
We have a Disney.
We got a Disney license plate for it.
We're spending all this money. And I'm like, you know what? I was like, how much is it? And she's like, I think it's like $25 or $30. And I'm like, what's another 25 or 30? Let's just do it.
Yeah. We were kind of laughing all weekend because little things would happen and we'd be like, man, that was the icing on the cake. And then we're like, what are the sprinkles going to be? This is just insane. So Saturday morning, like you said, I woke up early. I just tend to. And finally around 6:45, I rolled out of bed.
Yeah, I started. And
I went up and got my latte.
Mm-hmm.
Got my decaf latte. And then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to walk the property. So I walked the property, which I love to do. I love to walk any property in the morning when, maybe you're still asleep. And I love to watch the hustle and bustle of the families that are getting ready to go and the kids that are maybe dressed up for the day, the little, princesses that are in their outfits and stuff. Or again, just these families with their strollers and they've got the balloon they bought the day before and they got to use it again. And they're wearing the matching. I love witnessing that. So I walk the property and I check in on Rhonda and she's asleep. So I walk the property and I check in on Rhonda and she's asleep. So I walk the property and I check in on Rhonda and she's asleep. And then I did it one more time. About 8:45 rolls around or so. And I'm just back in the room, sitting in the bed, looking at Three Bridges. And I'm like, I don't want to go back up to Chronos Club because I know that Aaron is there. We have not seen him, I think, since February.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go see him without you. So I just waited and you got up. We got ready. We went up there, had our wonderful breakfast, bacon and eggs and all this good stuff. And then our friends joined us and they came up and they had their breakfast. And then we just, at 10:30, when that breakfast is gone, those people clear out because they're going to the parks and all. And so the five of us sat there for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. They were pulling out lunch.
Well, snacks. By the time we were like, we should go.
I was like, oh my goodness.
And, we're having a mimosa and we're just chatting with Aaron and catching up with him, which was just amazing. And they do a Bloody Mary there.
They do.
I am not a fan of Bloody Marys. I really enjoyed this one a lot. Good. So you can ask for a Bloody Mary in the morning. You can ask for the different mimosas. You can get your Baileys and coffee. And we just had the best time just sitting around for 3 hours. And then snacks came and we're like, well, we'll get a couple snacks and we'll grab, chips or whatever. And we'll head down to the pool. Mm-hmm. So headed down for the pool a little bit. And then, that's when we had to go over to Magic Kingdom and we got situated with the tickets and their annual passes. We talked about that last episode. Yep. What was our plan for that evening other than to go enjoy dinner there again? Because we had to see some friends of ours.
Oh, we had to go to Three Bridges.
Yeah.
Well, and it was super funny. Where was I walking? And I was like, oh, I saw Dirty Martini and I was like, that sounds good. And Ashley and I are very similar and Karen and Jeremy are very similar. And both Ashley and I are like, that sounds amazing. Karen and Jeremy were like, bleh.
Yeah. So, I had a really bad dirty blue cheese martini situation once.
Yep. You've already told that story.
I can't even look at him. We're on Living with the Land the next day. And Karen's like, look, the water looks like your dirty martini last night.
No, and then y'all were like, no, it looks clear.
Yeah, we're like, no, it actually looks better.
So anyways, we go to Three Bridges to see Jamie. And I was like, all right.
Bonus, Carol was working.
Oh, she was. It was awesome.
And Tanner.
Yep. So we got to see everybody, but we actually sit with Jamie in her section. And we were like, all right. Like we all felt like, all right, we have to get at least one drink because we're going straight back up to Chronos Club, basically.
Where everything's included.
Yes.
And this was the one beverage each that we bought this entire weekend, which again, if you are somebody that drinks alcoholic beverages, you know how much of a savings that is when you're trying to have a cocktail or a beer or a wine outside of your home. That's everywhere. That's a restaurant. That's
100%.
Disney. That's Universal. That's SeaWorld. It's everywhere.
Yep.
So huge savings.
Absolutely. So it was super funny because I was like, well, I just want to sip on something. I don't want to drink. And then I was like, oh, dirty martini. And it was super cool because Jamie loves dirty martinis. She does it with gin. So I said, I want vodka. And I said, but do it how you drink it, dirty. Like, just do the vodka. And so she's like, all right, perfect. And it was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah. And then they really wanted the corn dip.
Oh,
so
of course.
had to get an order of corn dip. And then we hadn't had in forever the Oaxaca chorizo dip.
So good.
So we went ahead and got that. So super cheesy. I'll be honest. I don't know which one of those wins out. They're both so
they are
stinking good. So we had those. We caught up with Jamie and Carol for a bit, had a good time. And then we were like, all right, we are back and we are going to dinner at Chronos Club. So some of our offerings that night, and this was one of my favorite things the entire weekend, was the Bravas potatoes.
Oh, those were super good.
Deep fried whole fingerling potatoes that have a super, they're almost like fries gone wild.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like super tender on the inside, nice and crispy on the outside. These were one of my favorite things this weekend. Next to that on the hot station, they had actually a smoked paprika salmon with a potato chutney.
It was so good.
It really, really
that
was.
Salmon, I got seconds on that. Put it with the fingerling potatoes. And they had some, like, I don't know what, sauce.
It was the tomato chutney. So not
That's
quite, yeah,
what
not
it
quite
was?
like a really chunky, fresh marinara.
No, it was, no.
Okay. Well, that's what it says.
That was probably in it.
Oh, you got a little side
there was
something.
A side sauce that almost looked like shrimp sauce.
Oh, I missed that one. I completely
so
missed that.
good. So I ate it with the salmon. I ate it with the potatoes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I like salmon, but I'm super picky about it. Like the way it's cooked and what it's flavored with. And I love this.
Actually cooked.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And now again, when we say that they present these as hors d'oeuvres, it's because they're all served as small plates. They're all served as kind of 1 or 2 bite appetizer / hors d'oeuvres.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you can put together enough to make a meal. We had
back numerous times.
Oh yeah, for sure. They had a crudité station, which included the carrots. This time had sweet peppers. It had the marinated cucumbers again with your hummus and your ranch. They had the pasta station again with the marinara, the house-made marinara.
That was this time
and the pasta. It was a meat sauce. Yeah.
It was almost like, I felt like, no, I don't really know if this is true, but I felt like they literally took the meatballs from the night before, like almost not pureed
They may have put them through a grinder
and then put it in the meat sauce. Oh my goodness, it was so good, so good.
Then we had our charcuterie station again. We had our pan de tomato. I probably say it wrong every time, which I'm telling you. The one night I actually took that. I took the bread, I took the tomato, and then I put some turkey and cheese on top and made like an open-faced sandwich.
Oh, yeah, you did.
And it was so good. And then what I thought was delicious was the pan ensalada, which was like a very fresh little, like, I think it was arugula salad with nice big bready croutons.
Super good.
And like a vinaigrette.
I think I ate 2 of those too.
I ate multiple of those.
So good.
And we sat
night
there for the rest of the night.
That night I ate 2 helpings of salmon. I ate a lot. I ate 2 salads, I think. Then we were sitting there for a while. Then I ended up getting pasta with meat sauce and eating that.
So good.
And then dessert. Like, we sat there long enough. We just stayed there the rest of the night.
We were going to stay there the rest of the night till the fireworks at this point. And what's so great is that there are activities all throughout. There's toys for kids. There's books. There's actually a computer if you need to do something real quick, like check in for your flight or print a boarding pass. There's checkers. There's Scrabble. There's chess. There's Clue. There's all these things to do and just hang out. Yeah. Now, if you enjoy a late night aperitif or cordials, they do have, comes out, you got Bailey's, you have Camorra coffee liqueur, you have Fernet Blanco. I'm not exactly sure what that is, to be honest. You have a brandy, and you have a liquor 43. So we had been,
Jeremy?
Well, we had been told, Ashley and Karen actually shared with us, they used to go to, it's a Spanish liqueur that has a vanilla caramel flavor, I'd say, or buttery flavor, right? And they said they used to have these things at a bar back home in Ohio they called little beers. and you serve it in a shot glass, and it's liquor 43, and then it has a little bit of heavy cream on top. And it just looks like a tiny little beer.
Correct.
So I was like, well, there's liquor 43, there's these little glasses, and there is Bailey's. I'm going to try and reenact it with that. It was very much like a butterbeer at this point. And it was super delicious. It is a nice sipping beverage.
I did taste yours.
It was really, really good. But you have these wonderful cordials and things you can do for your little late night treat, along with
get a
desserts.
decaf. I can't drink coffee at night, but I can drink a decaf. So I totally was cold at one point and got a decaf coffee and put a little Bailey's in it.
You've got M&Ms. You've got white chocolate covered pretzels. You've got little fudge like brownies with strawberry on top. You've got cupcakes. You have little tarts filled with like berries and things like that. You have I forget what this one was.
Did you say the 50th cupcake?
Yeah, the 50th
that
cupcake.
That was weird. I don't know what it was either, but it was tasted like breakfast.
It did. It was like this little pastry.
Does it say? Like you can't see the sign.
No. I couldn't see the sign. I didn't do well on that part. But again,
so good.
Add all this up in your head over the course of a weekend. Now, we try to do things like this. I understand that we got pixie dusted and we got an upgrade and we didn't pay the full price for this.
But we
totally get that.
Pay the full price for it.
I agree. And this is one that you have to look at. It's much like anything. It's much like the Halloween party. You know, if you have the budget and the money to do that, highly recommend it. If you don't stretch yourself thin. You know, if you don't have the money to stay in the tower and do club access, and it's going to run you bankrupt or add up your credit card bills, then no, don't do that. Right. If you have it in your budget to do so, 100% worth it. And we were even looking at like, all right, what's a regular tower room with club access? We could always go, you know, again, if the girls aren't coming, we can go and split it with somebody.
Yep.
Even if we just do one night, because once you go club,
you don't want to go back.
It is tough to go back.
It is.
Highly recommend this beyond anything. And again, it's all about that atmosphere, the service, the 100%. Food, the drink. You really are saving money.
Yes.
I mean, again, we bought one food item and 2 total beverages the entire weekend, as far as food and beverage goes.
I mean, when we were at Mickey's Not So
Well,
Scary.
we bought the thing at Mickey's Not So Scary, but I'm saying in general, then 2 food items and 2 beverages.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of insane. So just to close this out, we do want to tell you a little bit about our Sunday. We were able to all get linked together. And the night before, I was like, Ashley, I'm going to invite you to link together. And it got linked, but it only showed her in our account.
Mm-hmm.
So the next morning when I got up at 7 a.m., I went to get virtual queue. And for the first time since trying to get Cosmic Rewind, I could not get it. I will say it was at no fault to me. The app glitched and spun. As soon as I hit join virtual queue, the circle just spun. And spun and spun. And then it was gone. So about 8:40, 8:45, they were getting up and we messaged them and it said, I'm sorry I couldn't get the virtual queue, but there were still lightning lanes available to buy for pretty much any time we want.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, what about lightning? We're on property. What about lightning lane? I mean, they never ridden it other than the pass holder preview and then their passes like expired.
Yeah.
Well, they got to re-get passes. So I was like, all right, we've saved so much money. I think we can go ahead and buy a lightning lane.
And splurge.
So we messaged them. They said, yes, let's do it. And that was crazy because you could get a lightning lane for 9 a.m.
Yeah.
But we went ahead and picked 10 and it picked 10:45, which was perfect because we wanted to go eat. We wanted to hang out for a little bit in Chronos Club.
Because this is our checkout day.
Because we were leaving. Now, checkout day, you can stay there till
10
it closes 10
till 10 p.m. So
if you're that person that you are right down the road or something, you could stay all day.
Well, it's kind of like Express Pass. You know, it's Express Pass when it's included with the Legacy hotels over at Universal. What you could do is you come in on Friday morning, right? Just say you get there, you land or you drive down, you're there 10, 11 a.m. You have one night club access in Gran Destino Tower. You get it from the moment you arrive. You stay all day. You stay all night. Maybe Saturday night you move and you go to Town Place Suites or somewhere over in Flamingo Crossing. You would still have access to Chronos Club all the way to 10 p.m. especially if Sunday morning you were just going to get up and head home. So you just at 10 p.m. you drive back, or you Uber or Lyft or whatever back over to Town Place. You still enjoyed an entire day at Chronos Club. Certainly stay the whole weekend if you would like, but that is something, again, if we're looking at budgeting.
Let's think about that.
Yeah,
in the future.
I know. That's what I think. That's what we're going to look at. So anyway, we went ahead and we booked. We got 10:45 because we weren't all properly linked at this point. They got 10:55.
Oh yeah.
Went up to Chronos Club and got all hooked up and got all 5 of us perfectly linked together. Aaron was super helpful in contacting the IT department and getting us all set. Any of the wonderful cast members up there would have taken that time to make sure that your party was all set. And then we noticed that we also have a little extra pixie dust, and we have a multiple experience that we're going to get to use on any ride once we get over to Epcot as well.
Which was also actually shocking, which was...
Included Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked by that. I was very surprised by that. So we got over to Epcot and we park, and what pops up? Notification
cool.
My Disney experience that everybody was saying when it came out, it was going to be really dumb and completely useless. And we actually found the opposite.
Oh, I thought it was really cool. It comes up, it's called a car locator. And I was like, oh, what's this? So I pull it up and it already has like my D11 for his Discover 11. And I was like, oh, and I thought it was defaulted and I had to, but no, I guess it knew where I was.
Yeah.
So totally clicked it in, and I just thought, what the heck, we'll see. We were exiting, and it was like, are you returning to your car as a notification? And then it was like, you're in D11. I was like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. I thought. I
mean, in the past, we either just notate it in our brain and we try and remember,
Jeremy
or
would text
we'll text.
The girls
and I'll say
he'd be like, we're in D11.
Which works perfectly.
Because there's been many times that
we have lost the car a few times.
Away and lost the car.
This is one of those things that the ease of use made it well worth it. Yeah. Is it a game changer? No, you can still just go ahead and type it in your notes or remember it or write it down or 100%. Text a friend, whatever. But I thought it actually worked really cool.
Yeah.
So we went straight to Soarin'. This was posted at 10:25. We entered at 10:22 and we were in the pre-show by 10:39.
Nice.
Not a bad wait at all,
nope.
Right? Then we went ahead. Living with the Land was posted at 5 minutes. We were in the queue at 10:52. We were on the ride by 10:59. So 7 minutes.
Okay.
Scanned into Cosmic Rewind at 11:28 because you do have that hour window. And we were at the pre-show by 11:35. We were on the ride by 11:57.
I'm going to go ahead and, because I know I was on wonderlandcrew.com and did not explain to y'all, but I did not have a patch this weekend. I had no idea that we would be doing this because they didn't have passes. They literally could only get into Mickey's Not So Scary, and then we were done. So I was a little nervous. In fact, I had my Sally dress on and I have a pocket, and peppermint was in my pocket, a mint, just because I've heard that helps. And I was with 2 nurses, and she was like, yeah. She was like, also smell some sanitizer. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I am doing this for all you listeners that have a little bit of motion sickness and stuff. Because like I said, I wear my patch when I go to Universal, and now I have been wearing it a little more with Disney. I am that person that can go to Disney, and if we go to Hollywood Studios and Jeremy's like, I really want to ride, and it's just me and him, and he's like, I really want to ride Tower, I'll kind of be like, okay, I think I can do it. I'll ride Tower, and most of the time we're going up and down. It's like all of a sudden I'm like, okay, stop, I'm done, please stop. And then it's almost like, okay, it's done. So I'm like, all right, I'm good. And then if he's like, let's go ride Rock and Roller Coaster now, I'm like, nope, we can't right now.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, I was very nervous, but I was like, all right, Rhonda, you can do this. You've ridden this. So we rode it, and also my nurse friends were like, keep your head straight. So I did. People were like, I've heard people say, don't look at the moon. I was fine looking at the moon. I was fine. I didn't feel at all like I didn't feel weird.
But then we headed over to Remy's because we thought that was the best use of this awesome anytime experience. This was posted at 70. We entered the queue at 12:31 and we were on the ride by 12:39. Now, 3D ride, motion simulator, all this good stuff together. How did you fare without your patch
No
on
bueno.
here? Okay. All right.
I had to close my eyes. I felt like my mom. So I love my mommy so much, but she's so funny when she comes to Disney with us. Like, for example, Flight of Passage. She will ride it. She'll totally ride all these rides. But with Flight of Passage and Star Tours, she will completely close her eyes the entire time until we stop. So when we stop in the cave and he's breathing and you're just looking around, she'll open her eyes and she'll look around. Soon as he gets up and flies away, she goes away. Or she closes her eyes again. Star Tours, same thing. When you stop and you get the person that comes in, she looks at him. Once we're done, she closes her eyes again.
It is funny.
In Remy, I had to close my eyes quite a few times. And once I was off, I was a little dizzy. And I was like, I'm done. Like, if we were going to go ride another ride, depending on what it was, I'd have to be like, give me 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So
well, I think that's really, really good information to know. And I know that wasn't like a plan or anything, but you did take one for the team by kind of figuring out, you
100%.
know, and experiencing what that was like.
Sick.
Yeah. No, I'm very thankful for that. I mean, at this moment, it was around 1:00 and, you know, we like to get home.
Well, we had to record. We had things to do.
Yeah. We always have things to do, but we also like to just have our Sunday.
And
you know,
I have
once
to
we get
work
home.
the next day.
Yeah.
So, and the kids had school and we just,
So we got home, but this was an absolutely incredible weekend. It was so wonderful and
core memory weekend.
Core memories left and right. And so as we already said, you know, if you are debating looking at club level, and I've seen a lot of I should call it club access. That's another thing just to note. They call it club access because there's not a dedicated level or area for rooms.
Correct.
They can be located all over the tower.
Yep.
So just something to know. That's why they call it club access. If you are on the fence about it, I have seen people that say, I have club access booked. Is it worth it? Yes.
100%.
If you're thinking, should I book club access? Is it worth it? Again, if that's in your budget and you have the money to spend on that, 100%. And you don't have to do a deluxe suite. The regular tower rooms with club access, the 2 queen beds, we love those rooms. They're some of our favorite across property.
Absolutely.
You could certainly do those. You know, these do come up with the different deals, AP deals, Florida rate deals, summer, fall, whatever deals they're running. So you can always keep an eye out for that. You can contact Chuck at mainstmagictravel.com. You can have him look at all the different rates, as sometimes there's multiple ones. But we hope that this, you know, episode was helpful to you guys as far as some of these things go, especially your Cosmic Rewind and Remy's situation there with the motion sickness. But go ahead and let us know your experiences with motion sickness and those rides at Epcot. Let us know your experience at Coronado. Have you done club access? Have you enjoyed Three Bridges? I know we have more than once. And while you're out there, you can go ahead and join the Main Street Magic community on Facebook. We have a lot of wonderful discussions there every day. You can go ahead and subscribe. You get those brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And as long as you're out there, we'd be super thankful if you would leave us a rating and review.
Because it'll help our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.